Hi and welcome back. I'm James Wilson. I'm here to show you some tips and tricks on Teams. Now, in our last video, we had a look at the activity feed and we looked at some of the tools that are in there. I now want to move a little bit further down the toolbar and show you some tricks within the chat functionality within Microsoft Teams. Now, you'll see here that I'm having a conversation with someone called Alex. And it's important to understand how conversations work because you'll always have these one-to-one conversations with individuals. But if you add somebody to a conversation, it will start a separate chat thread and your original conversation will be separated. Let me show you what I mean. If I go up to this button up here and I click on add, I can add people to this conversation. That's easy enough. And I can start typing a name, for instance, this Isaiah, and it will give me some suggestions based on what I've typed in. I can select that, and I then have this option as to whether or not I'd like to include the chat history. Now, if this document was sensitive, then perhaps I wouldn't include that. But actually, if I need this person to be able to comment on what we're talking about, I need to remember to actually include the things that are relevant so that they can do that. So I'll do that here. Now, that changes the conversation from a conversation just with Alex to a conversation with Alex and Isaiah. And the second I type a message into that, it's actually going to kind of commit to that conversation, so to speak. So I just need to be conscious that I'm having conversations with a group or maybe a conversation with an individual. And some of the buttons down here will allow me to actually do some additional things as well. So for instance, I can attach messages to a conversation. That's simple enough, and I can upload those from a cloud storage or from my computer. You do need to just watch out for this quirk that when you hit share, it's going to start uploading it. If it's quite a large file, it might take a while to upload, and you can't hit the send button until it's done that. So just remember to send the message once the file's been uploaded. Don't leave it sat there in your message. Some of the other useful buttons here too. You've got clearly all the emojis and GIFs and things like that that people love. You have this button here to schedule a meeting, and that will automatically set up a meeting with the people that are in the channel. So if it's a project team or a group that you work with regularly, you can very quickly get a meeting set up to help them out. I'm just going to close out of that one for the time being. And there's some other very, very cool tricks that live in here too. For instance, did you know that you can translate messages that are in foreign languages within Teams? So if you receive a message like this, it's in French in this case, you hover over this message and you can select the dots here. You'll be able to translate this into your selected language back in your settings. So if I hit that, it's going to turn that into an English phrase. And if I want to change it back or I need to get the original message, I can use this button again to be able to do that. There's lots of great functionality in Teams. Join me on the last video and we'll take a look at some more. Thanks very much. See you on the next one.